Good evening, Cherie, and welcome to the Patriot.
Thank you, Gaz. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for giving us some time to have a chat and a wee chat here for Metal Planet Music. This is really exciting. Cherie Currie, the Runaways.
Thank you. Yes, gosh, I just turned 63 in November, so it's been a long time.
For sure. I mean, you know, we're talking that's 4 years of your life at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
How was that as a 15-year-old?
You know, it was a whirlwind. It was like being drawn up into a tornado. And, I mean, it happened so fast. I mean, from the time I joined the Runaways, I really had never sang, besides with my father and my twin, you know, for corn. My dad used to sit us up on the corn stand, and we'd sing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star" or something, and they'd give us corn on the cob. My dad was part of, oh gosh, and I can't remember now, the Kiwanis Club. So we'd sing with him. My dad was a fantastic singer. He sounded just like Dean Martin. He was and a wonderful guy. Yeah, so, I mean, I'd never really sang on a stage before, especially rock and roll. So it happened very, very fast.
And then all of a sudden, that whirlwind has taken you on worldwide. And then we're here now, in the heart of the valleys. Who is Cherie Currie today?
You know, it's taken me, I haven't even dated in 13 years. Because I wanted to find out who I was, and in relationships I always felt that they wanted to change me, or it made me insecure, and I thought, you know what, because I felt like I needed to be in a relationship to complete myself, I had to stay away from that. And I'll tell you, I'm more comfortable in my own skin now by living alone, and with my 2 dogs. And I so appreciate people. You know, it's if you're, and I also say my picker is broke because I always pick the wrong guy, the wrong guy. So who am I? I'm a mom to an amazing musician kid. I was married to Robert Hayes, the actor of Airplane. Most wonderful ex-husband on the planet, and I've got a wonderful family. I just lost my brother a little over 2 weeks ago, my younger brother.
Sorry to hear that.
Sudden death, and the fact that I'm here is a miracle, because I didn't think I could actually, the grief was just too much. But it's helping me greatly to get through the grief. The people are wonderful. You're wonderful.
Oh, bless you.
Dad.
You know, and music's a wonderful thing for escapism, for reflection.
It is.
And what drives you? Is there new music on the horizon?
Yes. Well, I made a record called Boulevards of Splendor. Matt Sorum produced it. It's an amazing record. Unfortunately, though, Kenny Laguna and Joan Jett, their record label Blackheart, I signed a management contract with Kenny Laguna, and I opened for Joan. It was a fantastic show. Was offered a deal that night by a different company, and Kenny said, no, let us do it. We need to protect you. But unfortunately, we made this amazing record with, of course, Matt producing. We have Billy Corrigan, who wrote a song. We did a duet, Billy Corrigan from Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Got, Slash and Duff. We've got Brody Dahl, the Veronicas, who are amazing, and even Juliette Lewis came, and all these people poured their souls into this record, and Blackheart took it and put it on a shelf for 10 years, while the movie had just come out, and would not let me play after I opened for Joan, and I won Best Performance of the Year in Orange County for a 30-minute set opening for her, and I never worked again. Not under Blackheart, I didn't. And so finally, when I was releasing a record in 2019 with Brie Darling from Fanny, they put out, for Record Store Day, they put out the vinyl, because they wanted to be the first to put out the vinyl. And then that was it. And then when COVID hit, they decided to give me my record, because Joan wasn't working. And they thought, well, let's just release it on digital download. It did well. People really were thrilled with the record, but that's all they did. And I needed a CD, and I wanted to tour on this record.
Sure.
I actually put myself on tour in 2013 with the original players, including my son, who played on the record. The only one that was different was Matt. Matt couldn't tour. And I tried to force their hand to release this record. By touring in 2013, 14, 15, I came here, and they still would not release my album.
That's just, it's shitty.
And to me, it's criminal.
Yeah.
And I know, they say that, it wasn't Joan, that it was Kenny only. No, Joan's very smart. It's her record label. She listened to the record. She thought it was fantastic. And so I have to honestly say Joan is also responsible for me not having that record. And she knew when she and Kenny were trying to get signed how important it was to have a record label that supported you. They ended up opening their own. So I really felt like I was going to be safe, not only because Kenny was my manager, but because Joan I considered my friend.
Yeah, I mean, there must have been an empathy to the situation.
That's what I thought. I mean, she knew I was 50 years old. I'm 63 now. 50 years old. And I was ready, and they just wouldn't support me. And so one day, and I wrote Kenny not long ago, and I said, I don't know how you sleep at night, but I want to know, one day you have to tell me why you did this to me, because he was my family. My son loved Kenny. My family loved him. And my son now is the most ruthless businessman. I mean, he doesn't trust anyone. But that's because it just devastated my hopes and dreams for a career. And 13 years later, at 50, I felt I really had a shot. But at 63, it's harder.
For sure. But you're here.
I'm here now.
And that, to me, is kudos. That's your resilience. It's your inner strength. You said, do you know what? I'm going to put that. It hurts. It does, my heart genuinely pours for you. But there comes a point where you say, do you know what? I'm going to drive forward. Screw you guys. And let's seek a new path.
Exactly. Well, the thing is it's about the fans.
Yeah.
And there's a nostalgia that the Runaways, not just the Runaways, but the 70s music and the classics, and how, young people are really getting into the Runaways, thanks to Guardians of the Galaxy, as well as the movie The Runaways, where Dakota Fanning played me and Kristen Stewart played Joan Jett, and the great, Michael Shannon played Kim Fowley. So it brought a new, multiple generations of fans out.
For sure.
So, and the thing is I love the Runaways songs. So I get to do the Runaways, and I also get to do Boulevards of Splendor.
Wonderful, and that's fantastic. But there's a little bit more to Cherie Currie than musician, mum.
Well, I've been a professional chainsaw artist for over 20 years, and that's really why I have my house. Trust me, it's not from the music business. Yeah. And I've been doing that for decades. And
as soon as you told me that earlier on, I was like, well, Cherie, you got to tell us a lot more about this.
Well, it was a calling. It was that voice in my head that wouldn't leave me alone to ask me to do something I never would have ever considered, ever. Yeah. So that voice is so important to listen to, because it's never wrong.
That's it. You've got to go with that gut instinct.
Yeah.
Where did that all start? I'm really intrigued. The chainsaw art. Where did that?
Well, I started off as a sketch artist. That's how my first book, Neon Angel, was released. I went to, Price Stern and Sloan, which was a young adult book company, as an artist, and they asked, how long have you been drawing? And I said, well, about a year. And they said, how's that possible? And I told them the story about the Runaways, and they go, we've been looking for our first young adult book, and this is it. So I walked in as a potential artist for a children's book, and walked out an author.
Wow.
And from that single book, then it became a movie 30 years later, and then I made an adult version of the book. So I've got the books out in 3 different genres, I guess.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
Have you brought the chainsaw with you tonight?
The what?
The chainsaw, has it come with you tonight?
Oh no. You can't ship chainsaws that have been used or no. It's unfortunate. But.
Yeah, because I was talking to my friend Brad upstairs and I said, "You're a chainsaw artist," and he had this image of you having the chainsaw on stage and all this metal sparks and everything.
I actually, when I was working with Bree, I wanted to be able to start the shows with a box, and I would just in cursive carve our names with lights coming through, but that never transpired. But yeah, I mean, chainsaw art is something I'll do the rest of my life. It has taken a toll on my body. You know, this shoulder doesn't move much anymore, and you know, not like this one, and you know, I mean, you're constantly like this, so it has taken a toll on my neck and my back. Yeah. But I'll do it as long as I can.
But
because I love it.
Yeah, it makes you who you are as an individual, and you know, what are we now, 6-7 dates into the UK tour?
Yeah.
You've got 2 or 3 more left before you hop out to
yeah.
Scandinavia, I understand?
Yes, and I'm so happy Sweden sold out, which is great. I've never played Sweden.
Sweden's great.
Yeah, I'm looking so forward to that, but I'm looking forward to tonight here at the Patriot. And I've got my wonderful friend Phil Campbell jumping on stage as well I'm going to jump in the audience for that one because and let Charlotte sing it, you know, so I can save my voice for the rest of the tour. But I just love Phil. What a wonderful guy. I've known him.
Down to earth.
I met him because he was renting a place from Matt Sorum.
No
So
way.
we've been just great friends ever since. And I had him do a little bit of voice work on the Brie Darling, on Cherie Currie Brie Darling Motivator record. And he's just a lovely man.
Genuine guy.
Love him.
Yeah. So that's a massive thing for tonight. What do you see going forward?
You know, after my brother dying, all I'm going to do is listen to that voice and do what that voice tells me to do. And love people and treat them with the respect I've always done. But I'm also not going to play nice with people that are not worth playing nice with anymore. Because I no longer depend on a Runaways reunion or hope for a Runaways reunion. I'm tired of all of the garbage of people being fake, and I can't be fake. You know, I'm an authentic person, and I'm tired of holding back out of fear. So if something comes out of my mouth, it's because it's absolutely true. And if I say something on stage that might seem a little rough, it's because it's true. And you know, life is a lot of hard knocks, but you know what? We just pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and we keep on going, and that's rock and roll.
Absolutely, Cherie.
You're the best.
Absolutely amazing person.
Oh, thank you. I think the same of you. Thank you
genuine,
so
lovely
much.
personality. Wish you well tonight.
Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to it. Thank you ever so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.